What do you got going on, Mickey?
Just kind of tidying up some of this front suspension, putting brakes and stuff on. I got the control arms all assembled and tight. Speaking of control arms, look at that pretty chrome on there. So we don't chrome a whole lot of things in my shop. I like doing control arms and 4-link tubes and sway bar links and stuff like that. And on these, we dropped these off at Diversified Plating in Oklahoma City. I think it was like last Monday. And I took them some more stuff Wednesday and told them, hey man, we're kind of in a hurry. You know, if you could push us through, that'd help us out. Thinking it'd be like a week and a half later. So Brian at Diversified Plating, he calls me on Saturday at about 11 o'clock. Says, man, I'm down at the shop and your parts are done if you want to come pick them up. So I was ecstatic about that. That was awesome. So I went and picked them up on Saturday and they turned out beautiful. I mean, they're perfect. I love them. So anyways, another shout out to Brian at Diversified Plating for busting these things out. And he did it in a hurry and the price was fair. And I'm 100% happy. I'm going to get back to work, but if you guys stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to do a little tech tip. So stick around and watch the rest of the video. Thanks.
Here in the end of the day, you want to do that tech tip?
Yep. Good. Okay, our tech tip is going to be bolts. So I use these high strength shoulder bolts for all of our suspension stuff. Reason is I can get this length and just pretty much any grip range that I want. And what I do is I come through and measure these out exact to where when you drop your bolt in, not only is there no slop in it, that thing is tight because it's a precision ground bolt. So this thing has no slop in it. And if you notice, it mates up perfect right there. So when you tighten the nut up, it gets the exact amount of clinch without sandwiching the rod end. So, quick story, whenever we used to do race car stuff, we used a different style bolt, but it had a shoulder similar to that, and it was called a NAS bolt. And I had put together a customer's car. He ran it for like a season or so. Car worked good. He calls me one day and was like, man, something's wrong with my car. It's not working. I don't know what's going on with it. I need to bring it to you. So he brings the car down. We put it on the lift, start raising it up, and we notice the suspension is raising with the car, and it never dropped. Like the suspension never dropped. We're like, well, this is goofy. So we get the car lifted up and we get underneath it, and we notice all brand new shiny grade 8 bolts from like Lowe's or Ace Hardware or something. And we're like, what the hell? Well, who put all new bolts in this? And we went to wrenching on the bolts. We loosened all the bolts off, just like a half a turn, and the suspension just dropped. I was like, ah, crap, this guy changed all the bolts out because he didn't know that you need a specific grip length on your suspension to keep it from clinching the rod ends, okay? So on all of our chassis, when we put them together, we use these specific bolts so that we get the exact amount of grip strength or grip length on our rod ends and on our bushings. So like our shocks are done the same way. Put them up here. Shocks have the same style bolt. All the suspension. It just basically lets everything move really good and free without over tightening the rod end. It's like I can show you real quick. Okay, if I'm just holding on to that, get a little bit tighter. Rod end moves good. I go squeezing on it. Seizes the rod end up. Can't move it anymore. That thing is stuck right there. So that's why we want to get the exact amount of clinch on that so we don't swell that ball up in there and make the rod end where it doesn't move freely. That's your tech tip. Thanks for watching.